What you're essentially saying is that the Duke of Sussex is guilty of harassment and bullying and improper conduct in the governance of a charity.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I'm going to give you a really good example. The only reason I'm here, Trevor, is because at some point on Tuesday, Prince Harry authorized the release of a damaging piece of news to the outside world without informing me, or my country directors, or my executive director. And can you imagine what that attack has done for me, on me, and the 540 individuals in the Centre Valley organizations and their family? That is an example of harassment and bullying at scale. And so if the world didn't want to believe that there's such a thing as bullying, this unleashing of the Sussex machine on me and the 540 employees at Centre Valley who received this and have had to defend it.
Well, by the way, when you say the Sussex machine, what are you talking about?
The PR machine that supports Prince Harry's efforts. The only way we discovered of his decision was through the Sussex machine activating newspapers.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I would just like to extend a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers who have recently joined the channel over the past 24 hours. Welcome aboard, and it's fantastic that you have decided to join the show. So let's get into this. All I can say is karma is a B-I-T-C-H. That's right, karma is a B-I-T-C-H. I just want to commend Dr. Sophie Chindaka for her elegance, her grace, and her dignity during this very difficult time that she is experiencing. So I've recently watched a clip of her talking to Trevor Phillips on Sky News, where she basically has given us a tell-all interview and a behind-the-scenes revelation regarding the way in which the Sussex bullying PR machine works. According to her side of the fence, she claims that she essentially has been bullied by the dirty Montecito duo because she refused quite a few illicit requests from Mr. Sparry. So she basically says that she was blindsided by Mr. Sparry's resignation, and she believes essentially that all of the issues she's had with the nasty, dirty, low down Sussexes has essentially been because of their dirty public image, which has caused the Centre Valley charity to essentially fail, struggle, and hit a brick wall. She has said in the Financial Times interview that she has given on the 29th of March that Harry and Prince Sesso wanted to force failure upon the charity in order to strip her position from the board. She said that they wanted to essentially rebrand the Imogen in order to blame its crumbling infrastructure upon someone else and not take accountability for the dirty duo's poor public image. She's also revealed in this article, in so many words, that due to the controversy, negativity, and nasty, low down, dirty behaviour of the Sussex duo, the charity has struggled to attract sponsors, leading her when she stepped up as Commander-in-Chief in 2023 to try and source new sponsors for Centre Valley. And even with a £1.5 million input from the sales of Harry's book Spare, or should we say despair in this instance, sorry, that essentially the charity has been ailing and struggling in attracting revenue. And the revenue and income stream and income sources for the charity have essentially dried up. So in 2023, the charity attracted a total of 4.5 million in donations and revenue from sponsors. And in 2024, that fell, or should I say plummeted, to 3.5 million. The charity essentially has become some kind of funneling bucket for the Sussexes, and this is alleged. Don't quote me on this. A funneling bucket for them to receive money through USA aid and to siphon off money that they have earned in order to evade paying taxes. So it's turned into some kind of alleged money laundering scam. Dr. Sophie Chandaka, who has become a hot topic over the last 48 hours, wanted to clean up the charity and sort it out. But there's something else that was rather disturbing that jumped out to me when I read this article from the Financial Times. And the main part that really stood out to me was the way in which she said her relations with the Dirty Duo essentially really soured in April 2024 when Harry, or should I say Rachel Raggedy Meghan Markle, made a request that, of course, she had to refuse. So we know that there was this whole debacle of Meghan essentially disrespecting Sophie on global center stage, and she of course was jealous and threatened by Sophie, and everyone can see why. I've read this woman's resume. Everybody's read this woman's resume. You have read this woman's resume, and if you haven't, go check it out. She's a highly esteemed, very intelligent woman from Zimbabwe. She is a qualified lawyer and solicitor. She has many credits after her name. She goes by the name of Dr. Sophie Tendai Chandaka, MBE. She was awarded an MBE by our beloved late Queen in 2023. And of course, that was a big threat for Sparry and Sparry's wife, the Harkles in general. So she has a lot of credits. Meghan, of course, was jealous, as I said, and she didn't want her anywhere next to her handbag Harry, horrid Henry husband. So we have this clip that is circulating over and over again of her beckoning her to move from her husband and essentially saying to her, you better move your ass over here because you're not standing anywhere next to Sparry. And what our beloved Sophie has said is that Harry wanted her to clean up, and this is just nigh impossible, right? Mrs. Ragland's image. And he wanted her to go to the press and essentially say, look, just tell everybody she's a nice person. Ragland has terrible public image at this point, and I want you to say that she wasn't horrible to you, she wasn't rude to you, she wasn't disrespectful to you. And essentially they tried to force her hand. She, of course, quote unquote, refused to do it. Chandaka said she had refused what she described as a request by the royals team to defend his wife, Meghan, in the media after negative coverage of her. And she said, I said, no, we're not setting a precedent by which we become an extension of the Sussex PR machine. She argued that the volatile public sentiment around Prince Harry since his move to the US and media fallout after the release of a Netflix documentary in 2022 and his book in 2023 had an impact on the charity's ability to diversify its donor pool and make senior hires. When you start to interview people, she said, they're asking questions about, well, these mixed messages around the patron, she said. A person familiar with the trustees' account of events said, the charity has been almost entirely reliant on the positive view of Prince Harry to raise funds. And you can literally see, why can Mr. Sparry, Mr. Horrid Henry, not see that this Rachel woman has ruined his life? He's literally gone to his family, King Charles, and at the time when horrid Rachel was in the firm, he essentially said, well, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets, to the detriment of her own public persona and his. He simply feels as though he can bully people, push his weight around, throw his weight around as a prince, as someone of royal blood, in order to clean up her image. You cannot force people to like you. And so, what really has jumped out to me amidst all of this is how worried and concerned Raggedy Rachel is about her public image. She's extremely concerned about her public image. She's all over the blogs. She's watching every single channel that covers her. She's all over the internet. She has comments disabled and she has said that she's not taking in the noise, she's considering it noise, but you can literally see with Dr. Sophie Chandaka's statement that she's very much concerned about what she looks like in the public eye. And I'm going to say it here first. She's doomed. She will never ever be able to turn this around. People will never forget from here to Japan, to China, to India, to Africa, how she treated the late Queen, and especially how she has treated her father. She treated elders abhorrently and continues to disrespect people abhorrently. Dr. Sophie Chandaka also talks about the modernization sent to Bali. She says essentially that post a Black Lives Matter era, Centre Bali could not continue to function as it did when it was established by the two princes, Prince Sesso and Prince Harry, in 2006. It requires some kind of modernization and localized practices. She said 500 staff members actually reside in Lesotho, and she felt as though more operations needed to be operated directly in Africa and not in the UK. She said that this caused extreme friction and tension within the charity walls because essentially they wanted to keep everything in house and on European UK soil, to be specific. She said, and I quote, there was a fear that the Africans were taking over, which she, of course, thought was a racially aggravated or provoked comment. So she said that the board felt a loss of power and control and influence. She also continued on to say, I view the request for my resignation as being a direct response to my raising significant concerns regarding the charity's current governance, management, and administration. So this is a separate article that I'm pulling from, so bear with me. This is by The Telegraph, and this article was titled Prince Harry Accused of Harassment and Bullying at Scale by Charity Boss. What can we devolve from this? Now, of course, I've been sharing my inside knowledge from my inside source who is referring to what went on behind the scenes. Mrs. Dr. Chandaka has essentially refrained from talking about the very personal things, and what my source has essentially said is that she wants to keep it matter of fact, and that's the best line of action to walk down essentially when you are launching a legal action case, especially against someone like the dirty Harkles, people like the Harkles and so on and so forth. Meghan, of course, clearly had a heavy hand to play in this. Mrs. Dr. Chandaka would not play ball to her request. She didn't drop down, roll over, and yield to her request like a obedient little puppy. She stood up for herself, and of course, she had to go. Where else have we seen this happen? Our beloved Princess Catherine had to go. Thomas Markle, of course, had to go. Her black family members, who were nowhere to be seen at the wedding, had to go. Her sister, Samantha Markle, had to go. Her brother, Thomas Markle Jr., had to go. The royals, the Queen, Prince Philip, all have had to go. Jessica Maroney had to go. Marcus Anderson had to go. I wonder what all of these people have really done. Anyone who doesn't fall in line gets the axe, gets the chop, gets removed, is bullied, is subjugated. Do you see the trend here? How can you globally be having issues everywhere you go if you are not the issue and the one that needs to be removed? With all that being said, guys, I'll be back with another video. Bye.